Hello everyone, I am teacher Li Wendy. Today, we will learn together about the cognitive development and learning support for children aged 3 to 6. This session will focus on several aspects. These include the significance of young children's cognitive development. Also, the characteristics of cognitive development in 3 to 6-year-olds, and the corresponding learning support strategies and methods. Finally, specific pathways for home kindergarten co-education. First, let's enter the first part. The significance of young children's cognitive development. From the perspective of cognitive development, laying the foundation for learning ability. Young children primarily construct their own cognitive frameworks through 3 methods. These methods are perception, memory, and thinking. At the same time, children's cognitive abilities help them learn more efficiently. These abilities include attention and observation skills. Cognitive development is also closely related to problem-solving abilities. It relates to the cultivation of children's problem-solving abilities. Furthermore, cognitive development also helps with self-awareness. First, through cooperation with peers, children can gradually recognize. They recognize their own abilities. They recognize their connections with others and the world. They understand their role within a group. Also, through exploration of surrounding things. Second, during the process of exploring nature, children develop curiosity. This in turn stimulates their awareness of autonomous learning. They become active to explore and acquire knowledge. This further promotes cognitive development. Next, we will analyze the characteristics. First, let's look at 3 to 4-year-olds. In terms of perception and attention, their perception is very sharp, but it often remains superficial. Their attention span is short. They are easily distracted by external things. Generally, they can only focus for 3 to 5 minutes. In terms of memory and thinking, children at this stage primarily rely on 2 types of memory. These are involuntary memory and rote memory. Their thinking depends on concrete images. They find it difficult to understand abstract concepts. Such words are intangible. As age increases, 4 to 5-year-old children show clear advancement. In terms of perception and attention, first, their perception improves. They can discern relationships between object characteristics. They can understand the connection between shape and function. Second, attention develops. Involuntary attention further develops. At the same time, voluntary attention begins to emerge. With guidance from adults, they can focus on completing a task. Their focus time is about 5 to 10 minutes. In terms of memory and thinking, 4 to 5-year-olds also show significant progress. In memory, voluntary memory begins to develop. The method of memory gradually shifts. It shifts from rote memory to meaningful memory. In thinking, it is still mainly concrete imagery thinking, but logical thinking begins to. They are able to master simple classification and comparison skills. By age 5 to 6, children's cognitive development gradually matures. In terms of perception and attention, first, perception is refined. They possess detail discrimination ability and spatio-temporal perception ability. They can also understand temporal sequence. Second, attention matures. Voluntary attention significantly enhances. Concentration improves to 10 to 15 minutes. In terms of memory and thinking, 5 to 6-year-old children develop more completely. In memory, voluntary memory dominates. Meaningful memory ability improves substantially. They will also actively use association strategies to enhance memory. In thinking, it gradually shifts. It shifts from concrete imagery thinking to abstract logical thinking. They possess certain causal reasoning ability and problem-solving ability. After understanding the characteristics, let's learn the corresponding strategies. Let's learn the support strategies and methods. First are educational suggestions based on developmental goals. In cultivating perception and attention, first provide diverse materials and rich sensory activities. This enriches their tactile, auditory, and visual experiences. Second, design interesting tasks to prolong attention. In terms of enhancing memory ability, on one hand, assist memory by connecting to life experiences. On the other hand, teach appropriate memory methods according to age. In the development of thinking ability, first create problem situations. Guide children's thinking through life-oriented questions. Second, carry out classification, sequencing, and reasoning games. Through these games, exercise children's logical thinking. Promote their transition from concrete imagery to abstract logical thinking. Besides, targeted educational suggestions utilize resources and activities. Utilize them to promote cognitive development. In terms of scientific exploration activities, safe and easy to operate scientific experiments. First, design safe and easy to operate scientific experiments. Second, guide children to observe nature. In mathematical cognitive activities, there are two effective ways. One is to carry out life-oriented math games. The second is to use math teaching aids, like blocks, counters, etc. In terms of creative construction activities, first is block building. Provide children with materials like Lego, wooden blocks, etc., encouraging them to engage in free building or thematic building. Second is creation with waste materials. Using waste materials like cardboard boxes, bottle caps, etc. Let children use their imagination to create. Finally, let's explore home kindergarten co-education. In terms of guiding cognitive development, at home, guidance in daily life is crucial. First, infiltrate cognitive education. Guide children to recognize things during daily activities. Second, encourage children's autonomous exploration. Under the premise of ensuring safety, allow children to try new things, cultivating their problem-solving ability. In conducting family cognitive activities, on one hand, carry out parent-child reading and discussion. On the other hand, conduct family puzzle games. In terms of communication between kindergarten and family, first teachers should provide regular feedback through parent-teacher meetings, class WeChat groups, etc. on children's cognitive development. Second, kindergartens can recommend high-quality cognitive education resources to parents. Parents can also share their home education experiences. Achieving resource sharing. In conducting home kindergarten cooperative activities, there are two important forms. One is to hold parent-child cognitive theme activities. The second is to conduct parent cognitive education lectures. Everyone, that concludes today's content. Thank you for your attention and listening. In the next session, we will continue to learn. we will learn about the emotional and social development and learning support for 3 to 6-year-olds. Thank you, everyone.